So we're here in this kneeling position, supporting the sit bones, so supporting your bum on your bricks, and then resting your hands. They can be on the thighs if you feel you want some grounding, or you can place the hands on your tummy. But here, allowing the eyes to close and just feeling that movement of your breathing beneath your hands as you connect to your breathing and as you connect to your baby. And just knowing that it's really beautiful to be able to practice yoga throughout your pregnancy, as it gives you a time to not only connect to your baby but also to yourself. Really important to give yourself time and to give yourself that mental space. And then with your hands connecting to your baby, to your uterus, to this place that is housing or will house new life. Just setting a little intention. This intention, something simple, something positive. And then taking your hands, we're just going to open the eyes and taking the arms all the way out to the side. So big sweeping circle, arms all the way up above the head. When the hands come up above the head, just joining the palms. Exhale, bringing the hands down so the elbows come in front of your heart. Then I want you to really squeeze your elbows and your forearms together. So you'll feel that works the upper arm muscles and spreads the shoulder blades, okay? As you breathe in, try and keep the forearms and the elbows together, reaching the fingertips up towards the ceiling. And then when they need to come apart, just release the arms, bring them out straight up above your head. On your exhale, just easy, hands come down and they're going to come right down your center line, all the way down to your tummy, to your baby. Repeating this 3 times. Arms out to the side, big breath in. And then palms join above the head as you exhale, moving the hands down. Bring the elbows to be in front of your heart. Forearms together, elbows together. Lifting the fingertips up towards the ceiling as you breathe in. Trying to keep them together, and then when they need to come apart, they come apart. Arms come shoulder height above the head. And then exhale, just easy, soft fingers, soft hands. They come together all the way down to your baby. And then one more, arms out to the side, huge breath in. Good, exhale as the hands move down, the elbows move down, squeezing those elbows and forearms together. Try and keep them glued together as you reach the fingertips up and then separate the arms. Exhale, float the hands back together, down your center line. So passing your heart from your heart to your baby, hands rest there. Take a deep breath all the way in. Easy breath all the way out. Now from here, what I want you to do is just come off the bricks. We're going to move them out the way. They can be at the top edge of your mat. And then just shift back onto all fours and come onto your forearms, okay? So like I said, we're working on the upper body. Make sure that your wrists are in line with the elbows, knuckles glued down to the earth, and your index finger pointing forward. With your knees, they're going to be about hips distance apart, tops of feet flat on the floor, and then moving through cat and cow, but on the forearms. So as you breathe in, lifting the gaze, really try and feel that you're trying to pull back with the arms. And then as you exhale, just gently finding space in the low back as you draw the chin in and the tailbone down. So not too much of a pull on the tummy at all here. Breathing in, spreading the sit bones, lifting the gaze into your cow pose. Nice. And then exhale, just rounding there. Good. Just starting to loosen up through the spine and tap into the breathing. Keep going, a few more in your own rhythm. Just emptying the mind on the exhale. Good. And then after your next round, so when you complete your next exhale, no rush to get there, we are going to just come to neutral, Press into the palms so the forearms lift. Tuck the toes, lift the sit bones, come into downward facing dog. Now, in pregnancy yoga, we want to take the feet a little bit wider apart. So whether you're on your first, second or third trimester, it's nice to start to practice taking the feet a little bit further apart and aware of how your body's changing and really honoring that, okay? And here in your down dog, just rolling the head a little bit so you loosen up the cervical spine, the neck in both directions. And then stay in your down dog, but look forward, lift your heels nice and high. As you exhale, step your right foot behind the right hand. So we're stepping it sort of towards the outer edge of the wrist, okay? Then the left leg too. So we're a bit more than hips distance apart with the feet. Knees stay bent, deep bend in the knees as you sweep your arms forward, coming through a chair, and then press into the feet, stand nice and tall, squeeze your bottom. Exhale, release the arms all the way down by your sides. So we always want to keep the feet nice and wide in pregnancy yoga. Okay, bend the knees, sweep the arms forward and up, so that nice deep chair position. Exhale, keep the knees slightly bent as you come into a forward fold. And again, just release the head, check that you've got that little bend in the knees. For your flat back, slide the hands so the palms are on the shins, crown of the head forward, still a little bend in the knees there. Exhale, deep bend as you plant the palms and step back into downward facing dog. So remember, feet stay a little bit wider. Breath nice and steady. If you need to breathe out through the mouth, remember that is nice and cooling for the body and for your baby. So I want you just to lower the right knee down onto the earth. So the top of the foot is on the floor. For your balance, if you need to, the right heel may want to come off the edge of the mat, so shifting it to the right. More of a challenge, you keep the right heel in line with the knee. Your left heel comes behind the right toes. Start by looking down as you raise the left arm to the sky. So you may be on a tightrope here, which is more challenging. Like I say, if it's a little bit too wobbly, top of the right foot just shifts out to the side, so off the edge of the mat there. Checking that your right shoulder is stacked over the right wrist, and then really turn your right elbow crease forward towards the index finger knuckle, and you'll feel how that locks in the arm bone. Now left hand, we're coming down onto the mat with the left hand. Lift the left heel up so you're on the ball of the left foot. Coming into wild thing, but for your wild thing, as you step the right ball of foot over behind the left knee crease, right arm lifts up, but I want your chest to face the right. Okay, so we target the hips and we're strengthening our arms here. Okay, then from here, take that right hand back down and go straight into downward facing dog. In your downward facing dog, if you ever want to have a pause or a break, sometimes pose of the child can feel a bit too much because, again, like boobs and baby, in the way it can kind of suffocate you. You can come into that kneeling position we did at the very beginning of class. Okay, now from here, again, look forward, lift the heels nice and high. Exhale, step your left foot behind your left wrist, right foot behind your right wrist. Forward fold with the knees a little bit bent. Hands on the shins, halfway lift, breathing in. Exhale, fold your head, release down. Then deep bend in the knees as we lift the arms into that deep chair pose. Exhale, go back into your forward fold, releasing the head. Hands on the shins, flat back, inhale. Bend the knees, plant the palms, step into downward facing dog, exhale. Option 1, staying in downward facing dog. Option 2, vinyasa. So shifting forward into your plank as you breathe in. Exhale, lower the knees onto the floor. Shifting the shoulders forward, crown of head forward. Then bending the elbows. So there we target the upper arms. For your up dog, keep the thighs on the floor and a little bend in your elbows. And then pushing back onto the knees, tuck the toes, downward facing dog pose. Okay, steady breath in, steady breath out. This time we're bringing the left knee and the left shin down. So we've got our side plank on the other side, left side. Right heel comes behind the left toes. Right arm comes up towards the sky, checking that your left shoulder is stacked over the wrist. And again, turn the elbow crease forward so you really activate the muscles to support you here. So important to have strong arms, as when you're breastfeeding and picking up babies and trying to do 1,000,001 things, we need that strength. Exhale, now bring the right hand down, at the same time lifting your right heel, left ball of foot behind the right knee crease for your wild thing. Okay, and remember, wild thing, chest to the side of the wall rather than to the sky. Try and give that booty a little squeeze. And then place the hand down, step back into downward facing dog pose. Good, nice steady breath here. Just judging your energy levels. If ever you need to take a pause, a break, you know where to come to. Down dog or that seated kneeling pose. Next breath in, look forward, lift the heels nice and high. Switching the feet, so right foot steps forward to the right sort of little finger, and then the left foot too. Your inhale, halfway lift, hands go onto the shins, knees can stay slightly bent. Exhale, forward fold, just releasing here. Give the head a nice little wiggle. It's nice to come into a forward fold as it's a very safe inversion. Okay, then deep bend in the knees, sweep the arms up for that deep chair pose. And then exhale, press through the feet, squeeze the bum, bring the palms together above the head and down to your heart. Okay, now just check where your bricks are, because we're going to be using them in just a moment. Again, sink straight back into that deep chair. As you come down, turn your toes out, and we're coming all the way down into our Malasana Yogi Squat. Okay, so elbows on the inner edges of the knees. If you like, grab one of your bricks, place it under your bum, because we're going to be here for a while. Judge your energy levels. If you want more fire, you can use the muscles to support you here, and really make sure you use them, because when we get pregnant, our body produces a lot of relaxin, which makes us very flexible. So we need to do more strengthening here. So try not just to kind of splay. Imagine there's a thread drawing you up so you really stay strong around the pelvis here. And that's why the brick can be quite nice. Option 1, you're going to stay here. Option 2, we're going to move through some variations of crow. But what I want you to know is for crow, when you're pregnant, you want to have the knees really wide and on the outer edges of your arms, okay? So it's kind of like an elevated frog pose. We're going to place the hands down, knees come to the outer edges of the arms, and then you can just play without even picking the feet off, just shifting onto the toes and back, okay? For those of you that want to go a little bit further, you can shift forward, lift up one foot, and then come back. Final side, shifting forward, maybe lift up the opposite toes. And then as you come back, we're all going to meet in Malasana with the palms together, elbows on the inner edges of the knees there. Then place the fingers down, turn your toes forward as you lift your hips up, little bend in the knees, come into an easy forward fold here. So just moving the hips from side to side. And then again, deep chair, bend the knees, sweep the arms forward and up. So we should be feeling our legs now, I hope. Exhale, place the hands down, head hangs down. Halfway lift, hands on the shins, crown of the head forward. This time as you exhale, bend the knees, plant the palms, step your right leg back, okay? You may want to place one of your bricks underneath your right hand. Left knee stacked over the ankle, right leg straight, heel over the ball of the foot. And then just lift that left arm to the sky. So here, we're twisting the upper back. We're not twisting the belly, okay? We have to be very mindful of what twists we do in yoga. Anything from below the tummy button, we don't want to go into that area at all, okay? Now from here, that top hand, bring the left hand so the forearm is on your left thigh. Swivel your back heel so it's in line with the front and come into your lateral angle, right arm up above the sky. Press your hips forward, squeeze your bottom and your butt cheeks together, And then reach that top hand all the way up. So we come up, straighten the legs and go straight into a reverse triangle. So right hand comes down, back arm lifts up. Lift up both your kneecaps. And again, rock solid glutes as well as the upper arms. The glutes play a key role here. From your reverse triangle, come into warrior two. Reaching the fingers in opposite directions. Now what I want you to do is take the left hand up towards the sky. Your left hand is then going to come to the left shoulder blade. Right arm wraps around. Option one, fingers just go straight forward towards the left knee on the low back. Option two, we hold on to the fingers. Keep working the legs as if you're trying to pull your legs in opposing directions. Okay, then keep the legs as they are. A little reverse warrior with our Gomukhasana, our monkey grip here. And then come back to regular warrior two, arms out to the side. Okay, now we're moving into our next variation of side plank. So as you bring the hands down, you're going to come onto the outer edge of your right foot. Left foot steps in front. We're keeping the right arm straight, left arm to the sky. So modified side plank here. Good. Lifting the left hip up. Making sure, again, as we did earlier, shoulder, elbow, wrist are stacked. Now we're going to come into forearm plank on the other side. So left arm comes down, your left fingertips point forward. Roll onto the outer edge of your left foot. Raise the right arm to the sky. Good. And now your right hand, bring it down onto the mat, both forearms down. Walk your feet closer so you come into your elbow dog. Now, as I was saying earlier about relaxing, this hormone that's released into our body, interlace your fingers here as it just makes us a little bit more solid around the shoulders rather than just having the palms flat. Okay? Now, depending on how you feel in your practice, if you have a confident inversion, pincher is safe to come into, okay? However, first trimester, I would say if you tend to kind of jump up, you don't want to do anything like that because that is when the seed is trying to kind of knit into the ligaments in the uterus. If you still want to get that feeling of being in an inversion, what you can do is bring your feet onto a brick or two bricks. So those of you that would like to try that, just bringing the knees down, placing a brick or two under, and then coming up on the feet there, okay? If you do have your feet on the brick, just remove them, so step them off the width of the brick, and then everybody bring your knees down onto the mat. Sit back in that kneeling position we first began the class with. So if you did have your bricks under your feet, they're going to be there, ready for your bottom, okay? And then just resting the hands, they can be on the thighs or on your tummy. Close your eyes, just judging your energy levels. When you're ready, just opening up the eyes and then just shifting forward onto your hands, onto your knees, and we'll all meet in downward facing dog. So again, as we've been practicing, feet a little bit wider apart, hands stay shoulder distance apart. Okay, then deep breath in. You're going to raise your right leg out behind you. Exhale, step your right foot behind the right wrist. Inhale, left foot behind the left wrist. Hands slide up the shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Little micro bend there. Then looking at your feet, turn the toes out. Heels stay in. Bring the bottom down so we come straight into that Malasana Yogi Squat. Very nice. Again, brick underneath the bum if you would like that. Okay, a little bit more restorative. Moving into the arms, so we're going to start with the left side. Left arm out to the side. Right arm lifts up, opening across the chest, opening across the collarbones. Option one, the hand can stay here. Option two, taking the heel of the right palm just above the knee crease to encourage the right knee out to the side. Also, just check in with your feet here that you're not collapsing onto the inner arches. You keep the four corners of the feet nice and balanced. Those of you taking a bind can loop that right arm around. Checking in with your breath. Even steady breath on the inhale, even steady breath on your exhale. Now everybody release, come back to regular Malasana Yogi Squat. So this is a great one to practice in our yoga, especially prenatal, as this was the traditional birthing position as well. Anyway, opposite arm comes out to the side now, left to the sky, nice open chest, okay? So remember to stay strong and not just release in the pose. Bind or hand on inner knee for those of you that would like. And then we come back to center. So option 1, a little chill out here. Option 2, we can practice our elevated frog. So hands come down, knees on the outer edges of the upper arms. As you inhale, shifting forward onto the balls of the feet. Make sure that you really bring the head and chest forward. Exhale, shift back. So we're going to do 3 all together. So if you want to inhale, shifting forward, this time lifting up your left toes. Hug those arm bones in. Exhale, place the foot down. Final one, make sure you're breathing. Inhale, shift forward, hug the arm bones in. Lift up those right toes. Exhale, sitting back. Moving the brick out to the side, toes point forward, head hangs down, and just chill out here for a little moment. Roll the head. Feel all this goodness you're giving your beautiful body and your beautiful baby. And then from here, hands come onto the shins, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, bend the knees. This time your left leg is going to lunge back. So again, if you want to place a brick underneath the left hand, you can do, okay? Back leg is straight, front knee is bent, right arm lifts to the sky, your chest turns to the right this time, okay? And then your top hand threads through, so it rests onto the thigh, left arm lifts, so we're coming into our lateral angle pose, okay? And again, like we did in our Malasana, just check that your weight in your feet is evenly spread, okay? So not collapsing too much on the outer or the inner edges of the feet. So you kind of need to grip with your feet as if you're trying to pick up a pencil with your toes. Up we come into our reverse triangle. So straighten the front leg, reach the right arm to the sky. Left arm just releases down. Check in with your breathing that you're not holding the breath at any point, okay? From our reverse triangle, we all meet in Warrior 2. Now, another thing to note, usually classic Warrior 2, we do front heel to back arch. As baby grows, you may feel a little bit off balance, so heel to heel is a little bit easier. Okay, now lifting your right arm up, right hand comes to the right shoulder blade. Left arm, you roll the shoulder towards me and then bringing the back of the hand, option 1, across the low back. Option 2, reaching for those top fingertips for your Gomukhasa as well. And then just start to reverse that a little bit so you get a little bit of opening in that hip flexor. Good. And then coming back to regular Warrior 2, arms out to the side. From here, we're going to bring the hands down. So left hand comes down, roll onto the outer edge of your left foot. Right foot steps in front of the left, right arm lifts for your modified plank. Now that top hand is going to come down. We're moving into forearm plank on the other side. So bring that arm down, swivel on the feet, raising the opposite arm to the sky. This time your elbow is stacked underneath your shoulder. Keep pressing your hips towards the side of your mat. And then that top hand comes down as well. We all meet both forearms down. You can either lower the knees or walk the feet forward for your elbow dog, okay? Okay, and again, interlace the fingers so you feel nice and stable. Feet, just like in regular down dog, want to be a little bit wider. Those of you that want to practice just a bit more inversion, you can place your feet on your bricks. That just helps to bring the heart a little bit lower down and the hips higher above the heart. But again, go where feels safe. If you're practicing this on your own, make sure the bricks are up against a wall. It might, just to make sure they don't slip away. All right, if you are on a brick, just step the feet to one side, and then everybody just lowering the knees down and come to sit back into that kneeling position, shoulders over the hips, close your eyes, hands on your tummy, hands on your baby. Nice steady breath. Relax the shoulders. And just also relax your skin. Feel how when you just give the message to your body for the skin to relax, that softens the area around the eyes, the jaw. And then gently, gently opening up your eyes. Okay, so we're moving to wind things down a little bit. Where I want you to go now is with your props. I've got various cushions, because what we want to build, where our head is higher than the sacrum, so we lean back and it's supported, okay? Have your feet on the mat as wide or a little bit wider than the width of your mat, okay? And then you're just going to just hold on to the edges of your cushion, so make sure it doesn't slide back. Release back. Take your hands to the very base of your neck where your shoulder blades are, and then just run your hands along the muscles that run along the side of your spine there. Then when you get to your head, just splay your fingers and just run the hands up the back of the head, and then placing the hands back down onto your tummy, onto your baby. So make sure that your feet are as wide as the width of your mat. And then what I want you to do is just take your hands from your tummy out to the side, so arms nice and wide, so shoulders are in line with the wrists there. From this position, lowering your knees over to the right side. So this is one twist you can do safely. Again, another one, because we've done a couple of upper body ones, in your pregnancy, because we're not targeting the lower part of the abdomen, okay? Where you should feel it is down the left side of your leg. To intensify it, take the outer edge of your right foot, place it just above the left knee crease, and then turn your head to the left, okay? So it's a stretch down the outer edge of your left butt and thigh, essentially, okay? Your right foot now, just take it off the outer edge of your left knee, place the foot down, breathe in, knees come all the way up, and then we're just easily shifting the knees over to the left side. So releasing the knees down, you should be on the outer edge of your left foot, inner of your right. As you turn your head to the right, take the outer edge of the left foot just above that right knee crease. Again, it feels really good, just giving it a little bit more of weight to stretch down the thigh. And then that left foot, just release it down. Raise both knees all the way up. And then as you breathe out, you can slide your legs, option 1, straight out in front of you. Option 2, soles of feet together, knees out to the side, okay? And then your hands just finding a comfortable position. They may want to be both hands on your baby. One hand can be at the center of your chest, your other on your low part of the tummy there. Or if you'd rather just rest the arms by the side, please do so. You want to feel nice and relaxed here. And here, just closing the eyes. And with your eyes closed here, I just want you to take a moment to bring your inner gaze to your heart center, the Anahata, our place of loving kindness, our center of love. And just really invite this feeling of love here into your heart. It's when we open our heart to ourselves first and foremost, then we really have the capacity to love those around us. So for the next few moments, I want you to rest here in your Shavasana until you hear my voice again. want you to stay in Shavasana with your eyes closed. And just begin to feel your breathing. And very gradually begin to lengthen your inhale. Double the length of your exhale. So we tap into the parasympathetic, the very calm, rest and digest part of the nervous system. And then start to make little movements in your fingers and your toes. And then very slowly, you're just going to bend your knees, draw the knees up so your feet connect to the ground. Just ground down here. Take your time. And another thing to note when we are pregnant, one of the vessels, the blood vessels that link to the baby in the uterus is on the right side, the vena cava. And that's why you'll hear a lot of times that you want to try and sleep on your left. And in your yoga practice, just to kind of get used to it, it's nice to roll to the left side. So when you're ready, just moving everything, really careful because we are sort of on a tier to your left. There's no graceful way to really come out of this. Use your right hand to then press up to your seat. So whatever stage you're at in your pregnancy, we're bringing that sense of softness, loving kindness to ourselves and also to our baby. Taking a nice steady breath all the way in through your nose. And as you breathe out, just whispering softly, Namaste.